Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Kellen, Garrett, Gannon, and coming to you from the Foxx Den, their dad, Todd Foxx.
Welcome to the Foxx Den, where passion runs wild, takes run hotter, and the skulk rolls deep. I'm Todd Foxx, along with Kellen and Garrett, slinging sharp takes like deep threes at the buzzer. Gannon bringing next-level energy straight from the heart. All gas, no brakes. And the Den's heavy hitter, the enforcer, Clay Bench McDonald. He's rattling cages and dropping bombs like only he can. This is where stories get hunted, debates get savage, and the spirit of sports gets unleashed. This isn't just a podcast. It's a movement. It's the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, and I am your podfather, Todd Foxx. All right, folks, we've got 5 of us on today. Garrett's making his triumphant return. Gannon back from school. Getting the dog's here. Gannon, talk to me. School's over. What do you got going on this summer real quick?
School's over. Youth group internship, San Antonio. That's about it.
Okay. That's interesting. Garrett, what do you got coming up? I know some people may not have heard a couple weeks ago when you're on.
Got a good old wedding in a couple weeks.
Whose wedding?
Are we invited?
Yeah, mine. Yeah,
Thanks.
What day?
it's a Saturday.
Okay. I might be busy.
Kelly, what about yourself? Anything other than the wedding? Anything else going on?
Just chilling. I'm gonna be flying down about 3.5 weeks or so. I don't remember the exact dates, but I'll be flying down, driving back. It's gonna be a good time. Everybody again for the first time in a while.
Clay, you got summers off yet?
Nope. Still in school for another couple of weeks. Be working until the first part of June, and have a few weeks off. What about you, Podfather?
Oh, I've got some podcasts coming, man. Stay tuned. We've got a summer filled with just absolute mayhem. Mayhem. All right. Last time we talked, there was no game. It was the first night of the games, game 1. And I think every one of us predicted 3-1 is where we would be at, and we're 2-2 currently. What I want to do is talk about each game first, briefly, starting obviously with game 1, which I believe, in my opinion, got away from us. We had that game 1 and just absolutely gave it up. But take yourself back to game 1, and what were you thinking? How did you think it was going? And just kind of let's talk about that real quick. Game 1.
We were in full control pretty much the whole game until the last couple minutes. I thought it was very poor management at the very end of the game. I don't like the free throw game when you're the one winning. I don't think you put yourself in that position. Fouling to Aaron Gordon instantly twice, but the second time gets Jokic back in the game. We could have had a wasted 2 or 3 seconds minimum if we had a foul, but also just maybe see what happens without Jokic in there. We got Chet and Hart freaking in foul trouble very early on, so that didn't help anything.
Which was baloney.
We should have won that game. We let it escape, and I was not thrilled.
I remember the biggest 2 things I was frustrated with was we were out rebounded 63-43. It felt like every shot that went up was just going to their hands, no matter who shot it. That was very frustrating. And then Jalen Williams shot really poor, 5 for 20. And a lot of the shots that he can make, he's known to make the shots that he was taking. So it's just really frustrating because we shouldn't have been even close to that spot that we were in anyways. And the fouling up 3 is a good idea. Like if you're looking at it, you could even say historically and whatever way you look at it, it works most of the time. And with the big time players they have 3 guys in that team. He could make a big shot. It makes a lot of sense. The only problem was the way we did it is, like Kellen mentioned, fouling right when they get the ball and then using our timeouts to advance the ball when we're going to get fouled immediately. Those two made the entire idea just chopped. So the fouling of 3 is a smart move. It's just, I don't know why we use our timeouts like that.
Yeah.
And obviously Chet missed the 2 and then he hit a crazy shot. It's like everything had to go their perfectly right way for it to work out in their favor.
Yeah.
And okay, and Kellen mentioned that too as well. The foul when Jokic wasn't even on the floor and they had I don't even know how many seconds. It wasn't a whole lot, but they would have had to go all the way to the other side of the court, no Jokic, and hit a 3, no timeouts. And I think that's something that it just slipped your brain probably after, because Shea made that dunk, which is the best play you can do in that spot. And they sold, but we just gave it right back to them. So just kind of weird execution. I just don't like the way we did it. Overall, the idea of it is the right move. We just didn't do it very well, which I think also comes from never really having to do it this year because we had to blow out teams every single game. It felt like we played the least amount of clutch games in the regular season.
Sure.
So
yeah, do you think they should they have fouled, like get some more seconds off, because they fouled deep in their own on their side of the court instead of waiting until maybe after they got past half court?
You could have taken off a good probably 3 or 4 seconds each time they touched it.
Sure.
Yeah,
and that's being safe.
Even on that one, that's like that might eliminate Aaron Gordon's 3 to win the game later. So it's like, I just did not agree with how we played like those last 20 seconds, like 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, were you going to say something?
Well, I was just going to say something a little different, but going into game 1, I was telling everybody I was expecting this series to go at least 5, probably 6, and then hoping not for 7. I would say today, the way this series has gone, it being probably at least a game 6 or 7, I'm pretty upset that it is getting there because the 2 games we've lost 100% were ours. Bad coaching and bad playing. I think first game was 100% coaching. Second one, 100% on the players. I don't think there's any other way to pin it. So, I mean, a lot of people bring up the missed free throws from Chet, but if he makes those 2, guess what? They still hit the 3 and they tie it up, and we're probably still losing in overtime. So,
yeah. Clay, you got anything for game 1?
Just kind of reiterate the same thing. I mean, I think tying in between what Kellen and Gannon said is that the time management was bad, but you could tell that the players and the coaches hadn't done that all season, hadn't done the foul, hadn't done the foul when you're up and all that kind of stuff, because they looked totally lost in what their process or what they were trying to do. It's not something they've been doing. A lot of it may be their philosophy and whatever, that's fine, but it just looked like they hadn't practiced it very much, been in those type of situations because we weren't in those clutch games. And so next thing you know, we lose a game that we should have won, and it's frustrating. Even though Jokic probably had his best statistical game of the entire season.
Sure. Well, I'd like to tell you all game 1 my thoughts, but I didn't get to watch it. I was sitting there, had my food all ready, sitting there getting ready to watch the game, and all of a sudden it says, boom, too many screens. Too many screens.
So,
I'm looking at Kellen, Garrett, Gannon's my guess.
Why?
I watch 3 on YouTube, 3 screens.
Why do they? Why don't they have their own?
Oh, let's hear. That's some good podcast right there. What do we got? I understand Gannon. He's college.
You gave us a password back in the day and said you guys can use this, and
we got to have something to talk about whenever we get on here, so we figure we might as well watch the game.
So what if he changed the password and gave it to Gannon only?
Just what would? Yeah, what would
happen? Is gonna plummet. I think this is work. I think the podcast should be paying for our subscriptions.
Oh, okay. Garrett, what smart comment you got? I can see it.
I was just going to say it's an investment of pot into our time. So,
well, I think a good chicken fried steak dinner coming up soon somewhere. Sounds pretty good.
I got Lambert's
We got a
Cafe
Lambert's
about
Cafe
15
right
minutes
before the
away.
wedding.
So
You got what? A cafe?
it's called
We
Lambert's.
both basically said the same
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
no shot. Speaking of Lambert's, I don't want to
Well.
get into all that. All right, so game 1 over, and I mean that last possession. I thought at first, whenever I saw that Russell Westbrook
Aaron
was probably going to take the ball and probably go to the rim, but he dishes it off. Like if he were playing for the Thunder, he would have shot it.
Oh, he's jacking that sucker up ASAP.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I want to say really quick about the series instead of going the game by game real quick. But Aaron Gordon is just this year's PJ Washington. That's all he is.
Yeah.
No, he's not a special player. He is not at all. He's going to get a big payday because of this series alone. And it's going to, I mean, man, it drives me up a wall, but we always get that one player that ends up changing the game, and he has so far literally won them 2 games.
It's because
including one for the Clippers.
Yeah,
Against the
and I was gonna say he played well that one too, but it's annoying because we do such a good job on a team's superstar player like Luka and like Jokic, and what we always say is like, oh, let him beat us, but we're letting everybody else beat us and focusing on Jokic, and yeah, I don't know what it is about just kind of the guys who are 3-and-D, maybe a cut here and there from the corner, like those guys, they just step up because we leave them open because we're clamping so hard on their focus star player.
Same with Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is the exact same thing. He's a little bit better of a quality of player as Gordon, but Jamal Murray is trash during the regular season. Cannot defend, cannot finish, and is not a consistent shooter. All of a sudden, if you put a ranking of all the players, he'd probably be 3rd in this series. You'd have Jokic, Shea, Jamal Murray. And he's not this good.
So this is a little off script. Would you take Aaron Gordon on the Thunder?
No. Next question.
Really?
Nah.
He's old.
He's a rebounding machine, man. I think that's what we're missing.
Ever since game 1 we've won the
rebounds.
Ever since game 1 we've won the rebound battle. We've done a much better job of that.
No, but he can.
No offense, Pablo. That was not a good question.
That was a very good question. I think he'd be good on our team. Clay, what do you think?
He would play maybe 5 minutes a game.
Oh, stop it.
He would benefit from us more than we would benefit from him.
I think Jay Will's better.
I would take Jay Will over.
Well, yeah, I didn't say.
Okay, I disagree there. I disagree there.
Nope. Big.
Jay Will's
Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right, let's move on. Game 2.
47% from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Are we moving on to game 2?
Go for it. What were we going to say?
Here's my thing. The only difference between game 2 and then games 1, 3, and 4 is we hit our 3-pointers. If we hit our 3-pointers tomorrow, it's going to look very similar to game 2, I think. Because game 1, game 1 we shot 35%, and then games 3 and 4 we shot 25% from 3. That's pretty bad. Game 2, we shot 45%. If we come out just guns and blazing, just drilling the threes, which I think we'll see some tomorrow. That's what I'm feeling. I think it'll look a lot more like game 2 because they don't know how to react to that whenever we just light up the 3. Because when we light up the 3, the entire offense blows open and it's our game.
Sure.
So that was just awesome. But even announcers, they'll reference game 2 and they'll be like, oh, you can't really throw that one in there though because that was just such an anomaly. It was a big blowout, but it's because we just blew them out of the water. It's not.
Sure.
They didn't play bad because it was a blowout. It was a blowout because they played bad.
Yeah, we blew them out.
You know what I mean?
We blew them out.
And so I think game 5 has the potential to do that if we just hit our 3-pointers and capitalize on wide open ones.
So let me ask you guys this: was there any pivotal? What am I trying to say?
Pivotal
moments.
You're trying to add more to the words you're saying right now.
In game 2's blowout, was there any point like where it just like that's what made it even worse than what it really could have been? You see what I'm saying? Was there a point where it's just like there was no coming back?
I mean, first quarter, whenever we went up 20, and then it just continued and just got more. It wasn't really one moment. It was just a steady build.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what do the Nuggets manage? How do they manage to bounce back in Game 3 after that tough loss?
We just couldn't hit our
lost that
3-pointers
game.
again.
They didn't win
Yeah.
that game.
To me, it's like Gannon said, that the whole series, they're playing zone defense the entire time. The only way you can beat a zone is if you drive and get fouled or if you make threes. And if you're shooting 25%, you may beat them, because we did yesterday. We shot terrible, but luckily so did they. But we didn't drive. Once we kept missing, we should have just been driving in. We didn't do that because Jalen Williams can do that, and he had 2 points going into the fourth quarter. But if we can make threes, so I really think you'll see Joe, Wallace, and Wiggins a whole lot more starting in the first quarter, especially if Dort janks a three and pulls one up and bricks it like he did yesterday. But if he gets out there and drains a couple threes, and he's going to keep playing. Other than that, those three other guys probably going to get a lot of minutes trying to beat that zone.
Okay. Anyone else for Game 3? Any thoughts? What happened in overtime?
YouTube TV.
I mean, it's like they just went brain dead, and Shea.
There's just no
Did
explaining
they
that.
forget to pass the ball? Because it seemed like Shea tried to take over, and they weren't really passing the ball.
Yeah, they were lost.
Yeah, it was another really bad
I think it just
closing.
goes down to it literally has been so long since we've been in those environments.
That's what I was just getting.
You'd hope as a professional and a team like this, you wouldn't have to worry about that, but it's showing. And then,
Well, yeah.
I keep jumping to future games, but we see it the next game where we finally look like we know what we're doing in those situations. But yeah, Game 3, we literally looked like we had zero experience in those situations.
Anyone else?
It really just came down to horrible closing by all the players and just
we've blown everybody
missed
out all year
shots,
long.
man. Yeah, just missed shots. If we hit our shots when we're open, it would have been over by now.
Dude, and another thing too, series-wise, make your free throws. I don't care if it's clutch time or not. Yeah, what was it? Game 3, I think.
4.
We were at one point,
3,
we were like 12 for 20 or something like that. I'm like, we can't just be letting these freebies off there. I mean,
especially when they're getting
game-changing in the end.
Especially
those
when
would have won us the game.
yesterday, I think 2/3 of their points were free throws at one point. So especially when they're capitalizing on them, we have to at least match it.
While literally
that was hilarious. Yeah,
60% of their points for free throws. Like
yeah.
Denver.
Nothing I love more than
almost
seeing
campus.
Jokic making a basket and then just running down the court, hands down and up, just screaming at the refs. I'm like,
Yeah.
He's a wuss.
I don't know what it is.
happened-
We just keep
what's
getting
happened
matched
then.
up with these freaking clowns, and
Crybabies.
then I think it was game 2.
It's
The halftime TNT guys mentioned, like, you never see us complain. You never see us yelling at
you
refs.
don't.
And you have to
don't.
appreciate it.
Half the time you'll see us just like we won't even make a reaction because they know they fouled them, and if they don't, they're just kind of confused or they'll just look up at the screen.
All right.
It's just funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I think it was Game 3 maybe. Back-to-back years we've had to face these superstars who are foreign dudes who are just very weird players to match up against, and they are just the most obnoxious player.
Sure.
And
to
we've done
watch.
pretty well against them, but somebody else steps up.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know Jokic was that big of a complainer. I really didn't until this series. But he's
The bigger the game, the
Top.
bigger the complainer. I will say about, like, you're not going to see him complain that much in a regular season, but my
Yeah.
But for a
gosh.
guy that actually
Well, he's also
care about basketball, like
not used to this just good of defense.
And physicality.
No,
The
I
defense, the entire playoffs they're allowing it to be a lot more physical, which I love.
Well, They are, but they also aren't, though. It's very inconsistent, not necessarily
Yeah,
between the
it's
teams, but
inconsistent.
the first half of multiple games this series, it'll be not very strict. You can get physical, but then you come out after halftime, and it is just the tightest whistle you just touch a guy off ball and they're blowing it. And so, yes, they are, I guess, allowing it to be more physical, but I don't think it really has been that much different than the regular season.
Okay.
Anyways.
Clay, what about the defensive adjustments in Game 4? You got anything to add on? Anything about that, like the adjustments that we made? Because we had a horrible shooting in Game 4. Defense is what obviously won it for us.
I think the biggest adjustment I've seen from Game 1 to Game 4 is how much more we're playing Jay Will and getting him in there in the first quarter, rotating him around so that we always have two of them in there. Unless if Nicola goes out, then then we play with one big and letting those guys rest and keep them out of foul trouble. And to me, that's been the biggest adjustment. I think everybody else is playing good, and if we can keep their role players, like you said earlier, if we can keep them, like Porter did great in Game 3. That's why we lost. Brown played pretty good in Game 4. But it just, literally, if you think about it, if he makes one or two more threes like Porter did, we lose. And and then Westbrook played terrible in Game 4. So if those couple of role players like that step up and get them 25 points or something like that, it's going to be really tough for us to beat them.
Sure. When Jay Will is guarding Jokic, have you guys seen those stats?
What is it?
This series, Jokic shooting 5 for 18, which is 27%, with 2 assists and 4 turnovers.
Wow.
He just
I couldn't figure out why we didn't play Jay Will more that first game whenever Chet and Hartenstein got in foul trouble. I don't know why we didn't put Jay. We just went small, and then we got out-rebounded. We couldn't.
I think we should even put Kendrick
Williams
in there for a little bit.
Time, but we weren't doing anything about it. He could just do whatever he wanted because didn't have to guard anybody. Game 1, that was, like Gary said, all coaching.
So, which player's performance has been the most surprising in this series so far? Either team, one player,
good or bad,
either or.
Caruso.
Good. Well, Caruso, yeah, good for me. Hartenstein. I think his defensive lock. Gainer brings up the J. Will stats, which is great, but Hartenstein on Jokic so far has been huge for us. The only reason we've won a couple of these games, except for only reason we won Game 3 probably, or Game 4, sorry. But, Jokic can't do anything whenever he's guarding him. If he's not already in the post, he's not going to get into the post past Hartenstein. And so that's been huge, and I agree. I think Caruso, my gosh, the fact that we lost Game 3.
Game 1.
And he had the game of his life.
Yeah, like 20-something. Yeah, or what was his stats? Yeah.
It was like 8 assists or 8 steals.
With me that there was no way we lose a game when he's hitting the shots he's hitting and playing the defense, and then somehow we lost that game.
Or it was Game 1. You're right. 20 points, 6 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. I think Jay Will has to be the one that you say is the most surprising. Like, I didn't think he would get more playoff minutes whatsoever.
7 or 8 minutes.
Yes. Because in my head, the reason I say that is because nothing that Hartenstein or Chet is doing is surprising, at least to me. So if we're saying surprise, everybody's either playing.
It's still against, like, Jokic, like one of the best players in the world. So it's like they're
true.
Really
True.
Yeah.
But it's also I don't know. I'm not really like shocked that Chet and Hartenstein, because it's almost them together are playing good defense on him.
I don't know about Chet, but I would like Jokic went from 40 and 20 something, and then Hartenstein, it's almost like he figured him out essentially, and then we haven't seen him even come close to either of those ever since.
What I mean is it's like a team effort to defend him. It's not just a one-on-one.
That's
why I'm saying.
I was going to say, as soon as Joker gets off of Hartenstein, beats him, you got Chet right behind him. Or if he beats Jay Will, you got Hartenstein right behind him. And then that's why I think Chet's getting so many rebounds is everything that Joker misses, Holmgren gets the rebounds, or he's getting all the rebounds for everybody that's out there if they don't make it. So it's a pretty good game plan right now. It seems to be working.
Sure. So forgive me if any of these stats are wrong, but I pulled these up. Right now, through the first 4 games, Oklahoma City's bench scored 147 versus Denver's 100. Here's some stats, plus minus. According to what I looked at, Jokic is minus 20, Murray's minus 20, Westbrook minus 48, Peyton Watson minus 30. Thunder-wise, Shea plus 42, Hartenstein is 34 plus 34, Wiggins plus 38, and Caruso plus 30. So that's just some very quick math that could perhaps be wrong. Have to take a look at it and see. But regardless, how Shea's leadership influenced the Thunder's play, do you guys think?
I think he was.
Because he hadn't had the greatest of series.
He was going to be who I would say has the most surprisingly bad. But
yeah.
But I mean, in regards to his leadership, it's been phenomenal because what I love is the entire team, along with him, says the same exact thing the entire season. So when we go down 1-0, 2-1, nothing really is falling apart of like sky's falling, let's panic. It's just the same thing.
The next game, and then you move on.
You just play one game at a time.
We could be down 3-0, and it's not. We got to win 4 straight. We got to win next game.
Just win the next game.
We
yeah.
got to win the next game.
And he had talked about how there was some desperation after game 1, and that's why we just came out lights out.
Sure.
But even then, it's very just steady. And when we win, if we win tomorrow, if we lose tomorrow, it's going to be steady. And we're just going to go one game at a time. So I think it's been good, but I would like to see him because game 2, every time he touched the ball, that possession was maximized. So I'd like to see that tomorrow. But
okay. Are there any adjustments we need to make to maintain this momentum other than hitting our shots? Like to Garrett's point, hitting the free throws for sure. We got to make these threes. Dort, I think I heard, was 2 out of 20 something on threes. I think is what I heard through the first 4.
Keep shooting them.
He's struggling.
Keep shooting.
He's struggling. Do you want Dort to keep shooting? I mean, he had a great regular season.
Well, I mean,
he gets
if
rolling.
He's gotta get rolling.
And if there's going to be one game that he'll hit 3 out of 4, and that's going to change it all. Because if he stops shooting it, even if we win the series, he's going to be a huge liability if he stops shooting it for the rest of the playoffs.
True. Did he even play in the fourth quarter in game 4? Or was it all Wallace and Caruso?
He played less.
I don't remember him playing in the fourth quarter, to be honest with you.
He didn't play in the fourth quarter. No, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he played only 19 minutes, which is the lowest.
Man.
And that was okay. I think if he starts cold again, like he started 0 for 10 from 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, go for it. I'd put Wallace, Caruso, other guys in there, but give him a chance to get hot early and then see where that goes.
What do you think, Clay?
You talking about Dort?
Well, yeah, Dort or anything we need to do, like adjustment-wise, to keep the momentum going.
I mean, it's everything you said. It's coming down to if we can make threes, it's going to make them get out of that zone, which will wear them out, and that's why they're doing the zone, is to protect Joker from getting out there in the middle and having to guard somebody one-on-one and keep him out of foul trouble and not wearing him out. And those guys can stand, zone defense. Basketball coaches always call it the great equalizer, and that means that they can do a lot of things defensively and hide people, and whether they're a good defensive player or not, but that's what they're doing. And so I think it's more about those two things, keeping them rested a little bit and not having to work as hard and having to come through as many screens. So pretty much we've got to make outside shots or drive in, and if we can do those two things, it will be. I mean, I think we'll win the next 2 if we can get in the mid 30% range, it should be over from 3-point.
Yeah. So, Kellen or Garrett or both of you, which bench player could be the X factor in these remaining games for the Thunder?
I mean, outside of Caruso, who's already kind of been, from what I've seen, I've only, like I said, only watched the first game because the technical difficulties. But
yeah,
from what I've seen, Isaiah Joe has not shot very well. If he starts shooting well, if he shoots well and does what he did in the regular season, like it's game over because he will kill your bench, and like that's when you rest your starters, and we still increase our lead because of people like him. So
Yeah.
I really like to see him step it up, and even if he just gives us 3 threes, give me 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6. Like, that's still a huge 9 points right there.
Garrett, any thoughts?
I'd go Kaysen. I think, as we've mentioned, he's probably going to see a little bit more playing time throughout these next few games just because of some of the higher end guys struggling. And I think he's going to be matched up against Jamal Murray or some of their better offensive players. And he's another guy. I mean, I watched the highlights of game 4, but he was hitting shots towards the end that were huge. So you let him shoot because he's got a good shot, and then he also has a motor. Him and J-Dub are probably the best downhill runners on a fast break, I'd say. So, yeah, I would say Case Wallace.
Gotcha. All right, so real quick, briefly with the other teams in the playoffs, has there been a surprise with the remaining 6 other teams that are in the playoffs right now? Is there a surprise at all with all these teams currently? Is it Cleveland?
I mean, that
being down
Cavs
1-3?
series,
I think-
very
I think
surprising.
literally every single series is a surprise. So.
Well, yeah, I mean Knicks
Knicks beating Boston isn't that far-fetched. It's Boston blowing 2 20-point leads to Knicks. Like, that made it crazier. Like, I think Boston which going into it, I would have said Boston wins the series, but I wouldn't have said it was a sweep. Like, Knicks are decent when Brunson's going. He's the real free throw merchant of the NBA also. But
sure.
I just think the story of the playoffs is injuries. You got Curry's injury, you got Porzingis injury, you got the Cavs had injuries. I mean, if we lose,
Don't say it.
Jalen Williams, if he goes down, I mean, we're toast. Obviously SGA, but I mean, we lose Hartenstein or Holmgren, it's going to be tough. So that's where those teams are at.
I agree. I know as we're talking, they're getting ready to start announcing the lottery picks. I don't know if you guys are watching it on your phones or not. I'll probably get blocked out here in just a second, but what are the Thunder's chances? Clay, was it you or somebody? Which one of you guys had that information? Gannon? I can't remember. What are our chances?
I think
Is
it's a 38% chance we get 7 or 8.
that all right? I've got 2 questions for you guys for the end. The first question is, how long do you use your toothbrush before throwing it out?
3 or 4 months.
6 months.
I don't even know, honestly. Maybe 6.
He washes them twice a year like Gannon's jeans.
Kellen?
I don't know, anywhere between 4 months and 8 months probably. It's more just depends on when I notice that it's going bad and when I remember when I'm at the store.
How many times you drop it on the floor?
I go to the dentist twice a year, so that's how I know.
If I drop that bad boy, I'm for sure I will have one the next day.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. I'd say every, 2 to 3 months, get a new one. That's my thoughts. And then my last question is, what is the best movie genre? Comedy, action, horror, suspense.
Best movie of what?
How do you say
Horror.
that word?
You said horror?
Horror.
Oh, horror.
Yeah. But I did say what's the best movie genre? Is that how you say it? I got no idea.
Genre.
Genre.
Okay. Well, what's your
We knew what you meant.
what is the best movie genre? Is that how you say it? Genre?
Yeah.
So dumb. Comedy, action, horror, suspense. What do you think? What is your favorite kind of
Rom-com.
movie to watch? Rom-com?
I'm going to say comedy or suspense. Action.
Yeah. I can't watch horrors anymore. I used to. I can't do it anymore.
Oh, I can't stand them. They're stupid
It's
for one.
weird. Yeah.
I don't think it
Gannon,
could be
what do you
anything.
think?
I don't think it could be anything comedy.
I don't like to laugh.
I don't know what it. I think maybe. I guess. I don't know.
A little
Some kind of
romance. Or,
suspense.
yeah. I agree. I like suspense or action type. Kellen, did you ever answer?
Probably either comedy, but not anymore, but old comedy. There hasn't been a good one in a while, or thriller / horror, but it's got to be
Yeah.
quality, like real actors, not some random people that got off the internet. Like quality horror movies are good.
Oh, I agree. Totally agree. Back in the day, I used to watch some of those, but
Blair Witch Project.
nah, I didn't watch that. Freddy Krueger or whatever,
Friday the 13th.
Halloween or whatever. All right. Well, the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, I'd like to thank all of our listeners for taking time out of their day to listen to our podcast. Watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. We've got over 13,000 subscribers now, so we need more, and we need more listens, and we need more questions put in. I know football season's right around the corner, and I can't wait because I know that's whenever we start really ramping up. But for Kellen, Garrett, Gannon, and Clay, I'm the Podfather Todd Foxx, and I want to remind everybody that iron sharpens iron. Please stay safe, be savage and not average, and remember to join the Skulk. And what else am I missing, Kellen?
Stay thirsty, my friends.
That's right. Stay thirsty, my friends. And until next time, goodbye, everybody. Boomer.
Sooner.